All right, let's get started here. Thank you, everyone, for showing up to our AMA. Now, if you don't know what an AMA is, it's a Ask Me Anything. And we're doing this to celebrate the launch of our private beta for Blankos coming up tomorrow. I'm so excited. We're all so excited for the private beta that's launching very soon. And we're very excited for everyone to be joining us today. There's so many people in our Discord channel right now. It's insane. I'm so excited to see you all. The voice you're hearing right now is Justin Kruger, the community director on Blankos Block Party, and I'm joined with some very special guests, John Linden, CEO, and Senior Vice President Rudy Koch. How's it going, guys?
How's everybody going? Thanks for showing up. This is exciting.
Yeah, so
excited to be here.
It's so exciting to be joined with you guys today. For people that don't know you, give a quick introduction about yourselves.
Man, on the spot? Jeez. Yeah, I'm excited. CEO of Mythical. We've been doing this for about 2 years now. In fact, we got our first funding yesterday. Was our anniversary, 2-year anniversary. So 2 years and a day. We've been kind of really building this team. I've been in gaming for a while. My background is a studio head at Activision on the Call of Duty and Skylander franchises. And then I left Activision, had my own mobile company called Seismic Games that we had built up. And our big game there was a game called Marvel Strike Force, which was a top 25 mobile game. And we ended up selling that company to Niantic. And then, a lot of us have been working together before and had the concept of Mythical and brought everybody together to build what we're building now.
Awesome. Rudy?
Yeah, so I've been in games for over 10 years. I started out on a game called Club Penguin. I worked at Activision, which is where I met John. We worked together on Call of Duty. I was there for 6 years, and then I went to Blizzard. I worked on World of Warcraft for a couple of years, and then from there on to Mythical with all the great folks here. I have to say one of my sort of fondest early memories of Mythical was we were at John's house. And this is back before we even had office space. And we were all talking about something technical, and Jamie got bored and started doodling. And that was when he came up with Billy Bones. That was the first Blanko ever sort of created by the team. And so, to be here 2 years later on the cusp of launching beta, I'm super excited to be talking to everyone and super excited about tomorrow.
Yeah, and of course Jamie couldn't be here today because him and his wife are expecting, and they got baby stuff. So we'll give him a pass, I guess. Yeah,
so we'll give him a pass.
Yeah. Now, for those of you that don't know, the private beta, you can get into the private beta in one of two ways. Either you register for the site, and that's all you got to do. We'll be rolling out invites over the next several weeks. Or you buy a founders pack for priority access that gets you in tomorrow, which is really exciting. And we have a lot to cover today. We are covering news about beta. We are in discussion about beta, questions about the gameplay of the game, questions about blockchain and the economy and how all of that is going to work. And we got a couple fun questions as well. You guys submitted over 100 questions within the first couple of days, and we're just blown away by your response to this. Also, we're running a giveaway as well. If you head to the giveaways channel, we have a couple of beta invites for you guys. So enter the giveaway channel, and you can respond to the giveaway in a reaction, and you can get a chance to get an invite for beta this coming week. All right, let's get into it. Enough talking, enough me chatting. John, the first question we got in the AMA channel was, when is beta? I want the CEO to answer. So give us the date.
The date is tomorrow. So we are rolling this thing out tomorrow. We are aiming for early morning. There's a lot of systems coming together, and honestly, it's one of the most exciting parts of this project, I think, is the seeing, e-commerce and blockchain and all the traditional kind of mainstream gaming systems we've been building in the past kind of come together. So we're aiming for the morning. on Pacific Standard Time, and I'm sure we will hit every single channel we possibly can to get the news out the second we're ready to go. So
yeah, absolutely. I'll be pushing all those buttons, sending all the notifications. And I want to talk about this moment because this is kind of significant for you guys. You mentioned it that you've been working on this for a very long time. We're on the eve of Blankos Block Party private beta right now. And what does this moment mean to you?
Oh man. Well, there's some weird. Is that feedback on mine? I don't know if there's some feedback.
Jamie.
Oh, it's Jamie.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie. Jamie made it, but we can't hear you, Jamie.
Yeah,
it's staticky. I'm gonna mute him and then tell him to message me when he's back.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Well, welcome, Jamie. So what does it mean to us, man? This is exciting. I think what we're really pumped about is that we're really bringing a lot of cool stuff together. This isn't it's not a blockchain game. It's not a mainstream game. It's like it's all these things come together. And I think that's what's so exciting about this is that there's this concept of ownership. There's concepts of having these characters and accessories and all these things you have. Be able to own those, right? You can build your own world. You can invite players into your world. You can compete and all these things together. It's so many cool things happening together. And I think, like I said, it's equally terrifying, to be super honest, just because there's so many new things, and I've gotten asked before, but like it's really interesting, like talking to our QA team that's a very, very experienced game QA team, and they're like, well, can't we just reset this blockchain thing at first? And that was obviously months and months ago, but it's like it's new concepts, right? Or like no, it's permanent, right? Like once you write to it, it's permanent, right? So there's been a lot of these systems all coming together. And I think that's one of the really cool things about this game. And I think more now, we're just excited to get people's feedback and see what people build.
Awesome. Anything to add, Rudy?
No.
All right, cool. Well, before we move on to the beta and gameplay questions, let's talk about a question that many people have had around founders when founders packs launch, which is the quantity of the packs. We've released a blog detailing our philosophy and a lot of the reasons behind our direction, and we've talked about this many times, and we've answered a lot of the questions. But to reaffirm where we stand on this, why haven't we chosen to reveal the quantity of founders packs?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So again, Rudy did put a great blog post on this. I definitely encourage you guys to read it if you haven't. But we want to kind of go through our thoughts because again, we're bringing together two different genres. We're bringing together kind of blockchain ownership and the ability to own these assets, and we're bringing together the concept of bringing this into a mass market game that can be played by millions of players. And when we set out to build founder packs aren't necessarily a unique thing for gaming, right? A lot of games do this, and the whole goal of founders packs is to get that that set of founding players, right? People that supported us from the beginning, and get them into the game and let them have something that becomes very, very rare over time, right? And that was really kind of our main goal. Our goal is not to just kind of build another blockchain project with a small audience that is focused on kind of flipping assets to each other. It's really about building that mass market long-term community. And I think we're on our way to doing that, which we're excited about. I think we're going to have an amazing community and the millions of players across several platforms. And we're starting obviously with PC. So for us, the founders packs are really about getting these cool items. We try to match it up so you get 100% currency match. So if you bought $25, you've got $25 in the game as well that you can buy more blankos and accessories and all that fun stuff with. But you do get the founder status and all that. There are caps on the packs, and they are time limited. So let me talk through that real quick. The caps, in terms of the caps, the reason we haven't released that is we want to make sure we didn't have a small group of people buy out all the packs. We really want to make sure we have a nice foundational group of founders, right? But they are capped. And what we basically, the way we looked at this is that if you look at legendary items in game, they're roughly 1% or less of the players will end up having than some of those legendary items, right? If you look at Hearthstone, I think it was roughly about a 1% drop. If you look at Genshin Impact right now, it's about a 0.5% drop. And so we've really designed these caps so that they'll all be legendary items. But they are capped, so when they sell out, they'll sell out. To get a little bit more clarity, there's been some great rumors out there that we sold millions of packs, and oh my God, I've one of millions now. We haven't sold millions. We sold thousands of packs. We haven't sold hundreds of thousands or millions of packs like some of the rumors out there, and we don't plan on selling that. We plan on selling several thousand more. over the next few weeks. There will also be a time cutoff, and we'll reveal that date in a few weeks. We want it to overlap a little bit so people still have a chance to get in if they want instant access instead of waiting through the waiting list. But we think in several weeks, we'll have enough capacity to bring a lot of those people from the waiting list into the game. So we will be kind of cutting those off. And the other thing we can say is that if we haven't hit the cap when the time limit hits, they will be burned. There will not be any leftover after that will be selling forever. The other people can come in and buy it from the primary store and all that forever, right? Once they're gone, we won't sell them in the primary store anymore. So that's kind of where we're at. We're not quite ready to reveal it yet, but it is coming. Like I said, we're mostly just, like I said, people that are in there, come into the game, come check it out, come buy more Blankos tomorrow with the currency you got from these founder packs as well.
Awesome. That's super, super clear. And if there's any other follow-up questions, we're happy to answer it. So, but, you answered Illcoins, Freddy's, Cryptodelphia, and Hen with a Tie, many others questions about the founders packs. Quantity and limit, and we hope to that helps. Cool. Is that Jamie still trying to talk right now?
Yeah, we try to troubleshoot behind the scenes.
Oh, Jamie.
Don't think it's working.
Yeah. Sorry, James. All right. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about founders packs. The Freddie asks, will the founders promo run throughout beta?
I won't run throughout the entire beta. It'll run through a few weeks of the beta, yes. So we'll overlap for a few weeks, and then we'll cut it off, and then from there they'll be gone.
Cool. And Pumped asks, will founders get any other special privileges in game?
So we will have you will have founder status in the game. It won't be there tomorrow. That's one thing we weren't able to get in right away. But you will have it. It's in your account. You've seen it in Discord. We're honoring that. But you will show in game permanently in your account. So we will try and add some other stuff down the road. But no promises yet. Like I said, we think it's gonna be pretty cool to have that with your name, and it'll be there forever. Like I've had a couple games. Can't think of the one that was right off. There's a game the other day that had that, and I logged back in and said I was a founder, and that was a cool experience. Just like I was there as one of the OGs, and I think that's one of the things we really want to make sure people have by getting one of those packs.
Cool. Now let's just run through a bunch of questions. We can do these pretty rapid fire about beta and gameplay. Let's cover basics of beta. We talked a lot about it, but just to recap, private beta will start tomorrow morning Pacific time. We don't have a specific date, a time yet, but it will be in the morning sometime. How will people download the beta?
You can do it right off the website. So you go to blankos.com. If you've got the founders pack already in your account, you'll literally have a button right at the top that says PC launcher. You hit that, you'll download the launcher, and away you go. So you'll download the rest of the game from the launcher, and you'll be in the game. So it's super simple. If you get added to the list, you'll get an email as well from the waiting list that you've been added, and same process. You literally just log into blankos.com. It'll be there waiting for you.
Nice. Now, Baskar Samal asked download size.
The download size, I think it's a 2.7 or 2.8 gig. So it's not tiny, but it's not massive. It's no Call of Duty Warzone size, thank God. But yeah, it's about 2.8.
And we've got a lot of awesome stuff into that 2.8.
Yeah, there is. It really is. That's the whole game, whole build system, everything.
Yeah, that's kind of incredible, the size of it. And if you're looking for it, the PC specs are in the rules and FAQs channel, so you can check that, or actually in the private beta details channel, which is great. Now, Rudy, why don't you tell us a little bit about the experience of beta that people will have once they actually get into the game?
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be the first look at the game for you guys, and you're going to get dropped into the junction, which is the social hub of our game. You'll be able to see all the other cool stuff that people have running around, other players, and we're going to have all sort of core aspects of the game available for the first time for you guys to try out. Being able to jump into mini games and be able to compete against your friends or other players out there. Mini games we could do just a couple of people up to 50 or more, and battle it out with racing and collecting and shooting or mashups of those. And then one of the things that we're most excited about too is obviously the build mode will be available. We can't wait to see what kind of crazy levels you guys all build, and I'm sure you'll come up with stuff that we never even thought of. But we're excited about that part because we want to see you guys stretch those tools in lots of different directions and create some cool stuff for the community. And then also, I will say that the store will be available with some new stuff to be able to check out, some new items and blankos and whatnot. So yeah, there'll be a lot there to dive into.
Awesome. Yeah, and I just want to also set expectations for the beta. John, when people get into the beta, what is this test that we're doing? What's the objective right now?
Yeah. So we are letting everybody in, so you can access the game from worldwide access. However, I do want to make sure everybody understands that we put this out there before. The game will be in English only for now. It has been made to go multilingual, but we will be starting off in just English. And also it'll be run from North American servers for now. So we want to get a collective pool before matchmaking starts splitting people off into regions over time. So that's kind of the first caveat. So if you are connecting from a long way from North America, there could be some lag, just like any other game. But we do want to kind of put that out there. The goal of the experience of this, honestly, is we want to get people in. We want to see people building. We want to see people playing and competing and all that. As Rudy mentioned, there's the kind of the social MMO hub, and then we have what we call a party portal. So there's a lot of different ways you can get into games. I can go into to build my own block party. I can share that with my friends. I can kind of get it into the loop of getting people playing my worlds, right? And we saw this in the early alpha. We saw just a lot of fun pieces around that. So that's really the kind of the core loop. There's also these concepts of party portals. So when you come into the main level or into the junction, you'll see two big holes in the ground, and one of them's multiplayer and one of them's kind of a single player for like speed runs or trials, to where you can go in and just kind of play and beat the score and beat the top of the leaderboards. But then there's also the multiplayer where you'll actually get matched with other players. And some of those games, are 4-player games, and some of them are 50. We had a great match this morning that was literally 50 people called Unalive Run. So it was basically this like a shooting gallery that somebody had built to where there's a central world that one team's sitting on. So they're stuck in this middle island, and then there's an obstacle course, kind of like like a Ninja Warrior course around it, and the other team has to try and make it through the course while the other team's shooting at them, knocking them off. So there's some really, really cool different gameplay. And that's where you're going to get experience. Is really, we want to get people for the first time really in there, playing with the Blankos, leveling up their Blankos, attaching skills to their Blankos, all these really cool stuff, and then getting in and playing some parties together.
Yeah, that's super cool. Unalive Run's one of my favorite levels block parties created in the alpha, and we should note that there are a ton of players, a ton of block parties that we had players create in the alpha that are going to be playable in the beta, which is really cool. We are going to be doing a lot of tests. There will be bugs, but we are dedicated and committed to resolving those in a timely manner.
Yep.
Cool. Let's move on to another submitted question. Insert asks, how many total players will you be accepting, and how will you ensure the accepted reserve players will be active rather than idle reserved accounts?
Yeah, that's a great point. We're really kind of be watching this over concurrent users, right? And that's kind of our metric is how many people are playing at the same time on average, and kind of watching those trends. So we'll definitely, like I said, anybody that buys one of the starter packs will be in right away because the second you buy it, you get access to the game. But then as we do that, and as we start seeing those stabilize, we'll definitely be adding more and more people from the waiting list so that we can get, eventually get everybody on the waiting list into the game at some point. So we're really not looking at terms of if we activate accounts and they don't show up, then we'll just keep activating more accounts. So that's kind of the easy way of dealing with it and watching the overall growth. I think, Jamie, are you here now? I heard you might be here.
I am. Hello.
Hey,
everybody.
there he is.
My headphones, for some reason, on my PC, I'm not going to swear, but they didn't work.
No worries.
Now I'm here. Thank you for your patience.
Thanks for joining us, Jamie. Do you want to give just a quick intro about who you are?
Yeah, sure. My name is Jamie Jackson. I'm a Chief Creative Officer over here at Mythical, and I've been leading the creative design on Blankos for the past couple of years. And I've been making games. It's year 21 for me making video games, so I feel pretty old as it stands.
Just experienced.
Experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Justin.
you're tenured. Yeah, exactly. We got some questions for you about design coming up later, but let's continue on rattling off some of these around beta, and actually you might be able to answer this too. Will there be beta exclusive skins and items in the game? This is asked from Extra Large. And John, you mentioned that Blankos will be in the beta store, but are they going to be exclusive?
Jamie, do you want to answer that, or you want me to answer it?
You go ahead, man.
All right. Yes, there will be some exclusive betas. So yeah, you want to come into the beta, and they'll be around. They're going to be around the entire beta season, right? But we definitely want people coming in. They're going to be tokenized just like everything else. So they're going to be serialized and tokenized, and come in and grab those and kind of get them in there. I want to say there's 5 Blankos to start, and we'll probably add a few additional ones as well. But there's 5 in there right now that are just awesome. Some of our favorites, I think, have made the list. There's also accessories. There's emotes. There's building items. There's all types of cool stuff that you can start getting in this game, right? So we definitely want people to come in and buy stuff with their Blanko bucks, and also there's gonna be ways to buy with a grind currency we have called Moolah, and Moolah is gonna be in the game as well, so you can earn that, and there's gonna be things you can buy with that as well.
I love that name.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
and I just want to add to that, if you don't mind, just as John said, we've got all the Blankos and beta kind of exclusive. What we've done is they've all got a stamp on their foot. So depending on when you buy it, you'll have a stamp that kind of tells you players, yourself or other players, when you bought it. And that stamp sort of continues throughout the UI and things like that. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like going to a Comic-Con and you pick up a specific toy and it's exclusive to that specific place. We've done the same thing in Blankos in the beta, in the closed beta.
Yeah, just to be clear, the season that we're going to be in is 0, right, for beta?
Yep, that's right. So season 0 Blankos are going to be a big deal.
Yeah, starting off with season 0, obviously in beta, and then we'll have a season 1 down the line. Now, this question actually leads into that one quite well. This is from Blankos Junction, an awesome fan site. We just love seeing these fan sites pop up, and it's great when they have really great questions like this. Are all the Blankos that have been revealed so far going to be available for purchase during beta, so season 0, or will they be released in stages?
They'll be released in stages. So again, I think we have 5 in there that'll be in there for tomorrow, and that'll be our first ones there. So a couple of our hero characters, a couple of their characters you've seen out there. There are also going to be a lot of characters. South by Southwest characters are going to be, redeemable very quickly here. Characters, if you signed up for the mailing list for the Gamer Choice back in the day, those are going to be coming out as well. So you're going to see a lot of different characters starting to appear. So I think you might even, Blankos Junction, you might even see a few that they might have been very quick references in the past, but you'll start seeing those up here as well. So there's some really fun ones, and I think there's even we did a 6 days of Christmas promotion, last Christmas, last holidays, and or maybe 6 days of holidays or something. And those are going to be in the game as well. So there's going to be a lot of fun games and fun Blankos you'll start seeing in the game fast.
Yeah, I just reached out to those winners. They've been waiting since 2019. So
there you go.
I think that's super awesome that we've had those people stick around and waiting for these Blankos.
Yeah, I know. Like we have fulfilled that promise. We've had some too that signed up on the mailing list a while back, and they're all coming, right? They're all redeemable. So that's going to be a really fun piece. Start to see all that start.
And now Peacock had a similar question about how many Blankos, but he also touched on, will these all be available to buy in game via currency? And I just want to touch on what currency can you use to buy these items in game.
Yep. So that's some of the experiments in beta too. Is kind of learning all the thresholds and all that. So you'll see some stuff mixed up here, but no, Blankos are bought with Blanko bucks, right? So you can buy Blanko bucks with regular money, or I think you actually do it with cryptocurrency in the game as well. I believe. Rudy, is that right? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Certain countries.
We're working on it in certain.
Okay, working on it. So basically you can buy Blanko bucks, and then with your Blanko bucks you can buy characters and accessories and all that. Again, there is going to be a grindable currency called Moolah that you can start earning as you do things in the game, as you win parties, as you do all these different things. We'll have different ways over time to add or kind of earn this currency, and then there'll be things you can buy with that as well.
Cool. Now, we had a couple of questions around platform. Lakshiadeli 5 and Red Ruggles 5 asked about platforms. Is it coming to, seen a lot, is it coming to mobile? Is it coming to console? What can we say right now?
What we can say is PC. And we're not trying to be super coy about this. You just have to, these platform deals take a lot of partnerships to kind of go through. We do have a little bit of a difference between us and a game too, is because we do have the ability to let players own them. There are restrictions on a lot of platforms around ownership of assets, right? It's just their rules. So we're working with a lot of them right now to see if we can bring the game over to their platform. And I'd say, yeah, we'll have some announcements on that in the future here. But right now it's PC. So if you have a PC, come join us tomorrow. And let's start playing.
Awesome. Now, there's been a lot of questions about character designs and custom character designs, and maybe this is for you, Jamie. This is from Teal Gaming Official YouTube, and he says, even though I've said this many times and I should be making character designs, make custom skin design, please. I'm a very bad drawer, please. So he's really excited about any kind of custom design in the game. Is there going to be anything like that?
So to begin with, you're going to be able to get hold of amazing designs by other artists. I love the idea of allowing people to come in and do their own skins in the future. Some of the tools we've built certainly have that in mind, but right now you're going to be able to buy your kind of favorite artist designs in the game. And, we've revealed a handful. We have so many more cool artists to talk about and share with you over the next coming months.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Now, here's a question that we just published a communication on, but Aventium asked, will beta progress be wiped on full release?
Yes. So, I mean, Jamie, do you want to answer this?
Yeah,
so we can kind of talk through this.
I'll take this one, yeah. So, beta, we're treating beta like a lot of other betas, right? It's for all of us to learn and balance the game. What we're going to look to do is there will be some wipes. Clearly, your characters and things like that, all your blankos that you own, they will not be wiped. But there will be some. We'll be communicating with you guys well ahead of time when those things are going to be coming, and we'll let you know. And we're going to make sure that these things aren't too painful for you guys. But when a game's in beta, it's not just about does the server stand up, right, or is the controls working and things like that. It's really about like player progression and seeing how things roll out. So getting a bunch of you guys in, our kind of faithful fans in at the beginning, to come and play that with us and work through those things with us is really important. But yeah, we do intend to do some wipes. We will communicate that with you guys well ahead of time.
Yeah, and it should be clear noted that anything that you guys have that we've committed to blockchain won't be touched. Anything that's bought with real money, Blanko bucks, all that stuff isn't going to be touched. We're talking about experience levels for Blankos and Moolah progression and stuff.
Skill trees, abilities, things like that. Yeah, as we tune it and make it kind of more balanced, which is a very common part of beta, right? We want to see what's working, all that type of stuff. We could wipe that and kind of put it back on the shelf for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, talking about unboxing, Xavier Extreme asks, must I unbox to play in the closed beta?
Can you say that one again? I missed that one. Yeah, can you say that again? I just missed it.
Yeah. He says, must I unbox to play in the closed beta? So he's asking, do I have to unbox my Blankos to play?
Technically, you don't have to unbox your Blankos to play. So everyone that comes in is going to get a loaner Blanko to play with anyway. And that will give you access. You can play around. You can actually even level it up to a point. You can do certain things with it. So you're going to be able to come in and experience the game. And you can definitely, if you don't want to unbox your Blankos, you can totally leave them on the shelf. But yeah. So you can be able to play, or you could just buy 2 of each and open one and keep one on the shelf like I did.
Honestly, that was the funny thing is that when we were in the game, what was it, yesterday? I think for the production kind of game for the first time, we had our founders packs in the boxes, and we were like, God damn it, I don't want to open these things. I want to keep them in the box. So some of us just bought another one. So, but yeah, to be even clear on that though, if to play with that particular Blanko, you do have to take it out of the box. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course we did clarify that you will be able to see the issue number,
Yes.
the serial number in the UI before unboxing that Blanko. So that should please collectors, because that issue number is going to be key.
Yeah, and you can click on the box too. You just don't, if you see the button in the warning that says, "Do I want to unbox this?" That's when you don't want to do it, if you don't want to unbox it. But yeah, you can click on the box on the shelf, and it'll take you a little bit more information about that character. Just don't hit the unbox button if you don't want to unbox.
Yeah, I'm never unboxing any of my Blankos. I'm gonna be a loner for life.
A level 5 loner.
Level? Yeah, no, I'm gonna trick that loner out. You know, he's gonna have all the accessories, all the levels, all the skills.
There may or may not be a cap, Justin.
Well, you know, I'll put that to the test.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, dude.
Yeah, cool. Let's move on to gameplay questions. And I thought this was a really good one to kick off around gameplay. It's from Freddie, and he asked, "Can you talk about where you see the Blankos ecosystem and gameplay in 3 to 5 years?"
Whoa, that's a huge one. I'll take gameplay, and then maybe John or Rudy can talk ecosystem, I guess. For me, so here's the thing, right, with Blankos. So yeah, building something on the blockchain, super interesting. The ownership, super interesting. I love it. The fact that we came up with this idea of unboxed digital goods, and people are genuinely worried about unboxing them. I love that. I think it's awesome. But for gameplay, for me, the idea was we kind of wanted to create something where we never had to have too many rules, and we could allow players to create mashup gameplay that continued. So just because we're launching with some kind of fundamentals like vibe collection and some race gates and our kind of super fun shooter mechanic, that doesn't mean that's all you're going to get. I'm kind of hesitant. I'm not going to go into too many details, but I see the gameplay evolving in a couple of different ways. I could see us potentially having different shaped Blankos in the future, which could be super interesting. I could totally see us having Blankos that could sit in vehicles in the future. That could be very much fun.
You heard it here first, people.
And again, I think if you look at one of the fun levels that got built in alpha, a bunch of the guys got together and they built a soccer pitch, and it was soccer with guns. And that was I think week 1 of alpha, and it was super cool, super creative. So the whole point of the UGC side for us is listen to what you guys want and create tools to allow you guys to build the funnest, coolest levels that you want to build. That's
right. And I think even Jamie, even within that, right, within shooting, we'll add a lot of additional types of things, right?
Yeah, without question. I mean, we'll build on what we've got, but I definitely don't want anyone to go away thinking this is all you're ever going to get.
Yeah, definitely.
The point of us building this world where you can create it and own it and create your own rules, like we believe that and we mean that. And once you guys come to us and start telling us some of the cool stuff you want, and we already heard great feedback and great requests from our alpha posse. You guys are going to get some cool stuff. So I see our gameplay just constantly evolving.
Yep.
And then on the economy side, I don't know, John and Rudy, maybe you want to take that one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think. Yeah, go ahead, Rudy.
No, I was just going to say, we're going to continue to sort of build on what we've done with the Founders Packs and concepts around ownership of assets and items and NFTs, and we're heading towards we've got a lot of stuff that we've got to roll out, but we're definitely heading towards being able to facilitate transactions between players so you can sell your items to each other. And so for us, it's about continuing to build value for players. It's about continuing to push for liquidity and create liquidity for players, and make sure there's a sort of a healthy ecosystem where players can transact. And obviously we see, we said this before, but we see a future where players can tap into the value and generate revenue. We've seen players do that in other areas like streaming and esports, where players and content creators are making money. And so we want to allow for those kind of concepts to come up, and building upon each step to create more value and liquidity for everyone.
That's right. And I think it's also kind of the gaming has evolved so much, right? There's now so many players are now becoming entrepreneurial, right? You can come up with your own things you can think of about, man, this is what I'm going to be the best at in this game. And if we can kind of keep adding ways that you can kind of kind of benefit from that, right? From the ownership, or the, kind of be able to build these worlds that you can have additional ownership in. We think that's really cool, and I think over time we're going to see, we're talking to brands, we're talking to esports teams, we're talking to influencers, and we want to keep doing this. Like somebody mentioned earlier about creating their own characters. That we'd love to do that. I think we got to be very careful on how we do that, because we are trying to bring this game out in a massive fashion, right? And we're trying to do it on multiple platforms, and there's a lot of different rules around that we have to make sure we adhere to. And also, hate to say it, but there's also legal terms around it too, right? Having ownership, there's things we have to do to make sure that everybody's safe, right? And so there's a lot of that happening, but I think Blankos is going to be a really fun place that you can play whatever you want. You can come hang out. You can see all types of different styles and art and content, and that's our vision of the game, right? It's really it's a sandbox, toy box, right? And I think the sky's the limit on where we could take this.
Yeah, I think just imagining what it could be in let alone 1 year, but 3 to 5 years, it's really exciting, and to be right at the start of that is incredible. So all of you guys in chat right now are super lucky. Before we move on to some rapid fire gameplay questions, I just want to reslate, and anybody that's just coming in, this is an AMA, and ask me anything about Blankos Block Party. We are launching we are on the eve of our private beta that is launching tomorrow, November 17th, and we're chatting with the co-founders, some of the co-founders, John Linden, Rudy Koch, and Jamie Jackson. All right, let's get into some more gameplay questions here. We have a lot more questions to run through. I'm sorry, everyone, we won't be able to get to all of them just because you guys had amazing questions, but let's try and get through as many of these as possible. So I'm just going to start asking. Xavier Extreme asks, can we start building our block party when the closed beta launches?
Yes.
All right.
You can get in there and go in straight away, and you can build whatever you want straight away.
Yep.
Perfect. Peacock asks, how is multiplayer going to work with the servers in community-based game? Is there going to be open servers they can join at any time? Or will there be some kind of searching for players type of servers?
Yeah, so actually, real quick on that, we do have a matchmaking. So again, we mentioned there's going to be 2 party portals, so you can literally just go in. You can jump in by yourself into one of the party portals and either play get matched up into a multiplayer match or into a single-player match. And it'll try to kind of take your preferences over time, and we're kind of tuning that so it learns the type of matches you might want to play. You can also group up with people, so you'll be able to kind of have a leader and jump into somebody else's team, and then you guys can jump into different levels together. I think we're supporting right now, if this team's of 6, and literally the leader can jump in, and everybody will be pulled into that party together. So it's definitely MVPs. These are the types of things that in closed beta, they're very early still, but they are working, and we're excited to see and watch the behaviors of people. So lots of ways to party up. Sorry, one other one too. I think we're going to do a join code. So we do have another piece too, to where when you're in a lobby waiting for a game to start, you'll get a join code, and you can give anybody that join code, and it'll bring them right into your party with you. So we're guessing we'll have a lot of people on Discord or just talking. We've seen a lot of it when we're just talking to each other on Discord, just shouting out that game code. Is a really fast way to get into a particular party as well that might be queuing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Similar to, I think a lot of, if you're familiar with games like Among Us or something like that, they have like a join code to join that party. Sort of similar to like that. We'll have a channel in Discord where you can drop your join codes, so you can get people from the Discord into your games. But there'll be many ways. You can select a specific game, jump into the party portals with your friends in a group. It's going to be many ways to play.
Yeah, what can I just jump on top of that? Just one thing. As you guys build levels and publish levels, over time they will get added to the quick play menus in the party portals. But right at the beginning for the closed beta, if you guys build levels and you want to play those specific levels, you're just going to have to jump into the party bus menu and just.
Oh,
I think we lost Jamie again.
We lost him.
Cliffhanger too.
Yeah, he left us on.
All you have to do is
all you gotta do is.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Jamie dead. Oh no, rip Jamie.
So what you said in the party bus, you can find other people's parties. So you can actually search for somebody else's party. You can join your friends. You can so there will be kind of matchmaking, and we will get more and more and more into that matchmaking over time. But you can go to any party in the game and kick off a party at any time.
Cool. And we just sort of covered this a little bit, but is there a friend system in game? If yes, what is it like?
Yeah, there is a friend system. It's again a pretty basic right now. Well, this is one area we want to definitely keep extending during the beta. But you can request friends, you can see if they're online, you can join their parties, and again, it'll kind of take you throughout the game. So if we join together and jump into a level, we'll all go into that level for matchmaking. And so that's pretty fun. There is a text chat system in the junction right now. We'll be adding more of that as we go. So again, kind of first versions of that for the beta. But yeah, there is ways to kind of see people and you can even see people you recently played with and add them to your friends list as well.
Cool. Yeah, that question, that last question was from Peacock, and you did also answer another one of Peacock's, which is, will there be text chat and voice chat? There will be text chat, not voice chat. So at the launch of beta, at least.
At the launch, yeah.
Yeah. Will there be any sort of social card that you can be able? One more from Peacock. Will there be any sort of social card that you can be able to look at into their game information? So any kind of like.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
There's not yet. There will be at some point. We are working on that. It won't be in day one for beta. That's why also when we said there's no founder status on day one is because the social card's not there yet. So the profile's not there, but we will definitely have that. So you can go visit other people's shelves and see what they have and all that. But for right now, you can kind of friend people and do some basic text chat and stuff like that in game.
Cool. The Mouse 000 or 00 asks, how does upgrading of your Blanko work?
Upgrading of your Blanko. That's a great question. Yeah. Jamie, you back?
Did I get dropped?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. There you are.
Yeah, I've smashed 3 pairs of headphones so far. Upgrading of your Blanko. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. One, by playing the game, you're going to gain XP, and as you level up your Blanko, you actually open up new levels on your skill tree. So an important thing, guys, when you actually open your Blanko, you're going to get to pick from 3 different skill tree types, and they all do fun stuff. So when you pick those things, you're locked into that skill tree for that Blanko. And as you open up, you're going to open up different skills that you can apply your skill points to, and they're going to be different. They're going to be, I change mine around a lot. I have multiple Blankos to do different things as well, which is kind of cool and fun. And you're going to be able to play around with those, and you're going to be able to fine tune them. Once you've spent a skill point, you can actually spend it on something else, so you can move those things around and play with your Blanko that way. And they can get really good fun. You can get like smashy ones, you can get super fast ones, you can get agile ones. So that's one way. And then another way you can play and customize your Blankos, as you buy or unlock attachments, you can kind of customize your Blanko to look pretty dope. So there's 2 different things. One, you can kind of cosmetically change it and add some fun stuff. But we've also got functional attachments as well. And the most fun one is the jetpacks. And anyone that bought founder pack status, I think they all come with a variation of a jetpack, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's true. All of them are a little different too. That's what the cool part too, right?
Yeah, they're all a bit different. They all play a little bit differently. And when we talked earlier about kind of playing around with things in beta, these are some of the things we might play around with, right? So it's not necessarily all just going to be about level setting, but it could be us just tweaking how jetpacks work or how the hot dog backpack works and things like that. As we see you guys play it, as we take your feedback, those are some of the things that we're going to play around and adjust as well.
And I think it's been really hard. Those freaking backpacks, or the jetpacks and backpacks, have been my hardest decision, I think, in the game so far. Is that it's just because they're so different, they're so awesome, and the hot dog backpack I think is the easiest way to get around the injunction, right? The pterodactyl though is one of my new favorites now from Boss Dino Founder Pack, to where you got some nice speed and control on that one, and then other ones shoot straight up, right? So it's so cool to see them kind of playing these around. And Jamie, do you want to talk about the crew? I think that's a really cool feature. We haven't really much about, but I think it's a really important one for players to understand.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. So, every time you jump into a game lobby, especially if you're playing through the quick play menu, you don't know what you're going to jump into you're in the lobby, right? And as I said earlier, I've got a ton of Blankos on my shelf that all are really good at different things. Some of them are really good at racing. Some of them are good at racing where I also need to kind of bash people out of my way. Some are good at shooting. So when you open up your Blankos, you can actually create them in a crew. So everyone gets a shelf to display their Blankos on. And if you order 4 Blankos on the bottom of the shelf, that's actually your Blanko crew. So when you land into a lobby, or even if you're just in the junction, wherever you want to be, you can pop up a menu and you can hot switch between anyone in your crew really quickly. So if you jump into a level and you're equipped with one of your shooter Blankos, but that level is suddenly like a speed race or a platformer, and that Blankos, you want to switch it out. You just pop up the menu, grab the one from your crew, and it will just be there straight away. It's been really good fun. It's been really cool to be able to do that nice and quickly, and you don't have to get booted from the lobby. You stay with your friends. You get to stay there and have fun, and it's a really cool feature. We're super stoked.
It's also super nice to just showcase all your blankets.
Exactly.
In the junction, you can just swap through them all and just flex your stuff a little bit. Also, so apologies to P Cook, not Peacock. My apologies, but cool. Let's move on to a couple more. Jamie, there were a couple of good questions about Blankos artists. Red Ruggles 5 and Gil had some good questions. Any chance there will be Blankos designed by older artists like Tim Biscup or Luke Chewy? And then another question from Gil was, I've been researching vinyl toys lately, Tech 63, Sand Toys, etc. And the thought came up to me if we will have other body molds for Blankos.
Ooh, two spicy questions. It's kind of a good. When you say older artists, I'm like
more experienced artists.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I'm like James Groman and Pete are not the youngest chickens in the shed. James has been around for a long time. He's designed some amazing toys. So anyway, the simple answer is, look, we have a great lineup of artists, and we continue to have more and more artists that we'll bring on board. As far as I'm concerned, like I'm a huge vinyl toy nerd, and that's kind of why we're doing Blankos in many ways, right? And all those artists, it's amazing how I've been super stoked to see how psyched they are to come and work on Blankos. When we kind of give them the Blankos, the way we've laid it out, the pipeline we put in place for them to get their work on the Blankos, the response has been super cool. So I would not say no to any artists being featured. We're talking about it constantly. I'm constantly working with Kurt on our team about finding new people. I think you're going to be really surprised as we open this up, right? It's we're not just going to keep ourselves in the vinyl toy artist world. We're going to open it right up. We see these things as pieces of art as well. So don't be surprised if you see Blankos down the line where there might only be one or two of them. Super cool, super exclusive stuff. In terms of the new molds, I mean, heck yeah. At some point, I would love to do new molds. You've seen various head shapes already. You can see the kind of stuff we can do. If you played in the alpha, you've seen some of the other characters in Blankos, Grandpappy being just one of them. So, never say never is what I would, that's my non-committal answer to heck yeah.
Cool. Way to not commit.
Yep.
Great. Now, we're running out of time here, and I do want to get to the blockchain and economy questions because there are some really good ones in there. But just a couple ones real quick. From Hen with a Tie, do certain Blankos have preset abilities, or are all of them purely cosmetic?
Sorry, can you say that one again? Preset abilities.
Yeah, when you unbox Blanko, does it come with a preset ability like a skill tree? Yeah.
No, so everything that you're going to open right now, you get to choose skill tree. So you get to pick one of three, and then you're going to get to play with that and open that up as you go and set that Blanko to kind of play how you want them to play.
Are players able to reset their Blankos skills?
You can reset your skill points, but you cannot reset your skill tree.
All right.
Yeah. Once you get the ability, you're set.
Right. Are the weapons in the Founders Packs purely cosmetic?
Yeah, those are going to be purely cosmetic. So, once you get those in the game, you're going to be able to just look cooler than your friends with the dopest rocket launcher in town.
Some of them have amazing audio as well. Audio visual effects on some of these guns they're up there with the backpacks or the jetpacks. They're incredibly fun to play with.
Awesome. Now this one's from Blankos Junction again. Is it expected that game modes will vary from season to season, like vibe collecting, racing, and shooting? Perhaps can there be a focus game mode per season? Things like that.
I would say that would be a good assumption to make.
Yeah, it's a good assumption. It's great.
Cool. And then I really like this question from Sench too. A lot of sandbox type games have have a situation where someone creates a mini game that becomes more popular than anything else in the sandbox, and then the publisher has a dilemma: making an official version of that mini game within the sandbox, or just rewarding and featuring the existing mini game and hoping the author doesn't mess things up. What are your plans to tackle this most likely and problematic scenario from Sench?
I mean, I don't see it as problematic. I think that's a pretty cool problem to have when you've got people in the community building really cool levels, right? What our job is then is to make sure everyone gets to play them, right? We can't go into too much detail now because we're still fine-tuning the feature and things like that, but we are going to have a place where we can really celebrate people's kind of greatest builds.
Cool.
And we can really make sure that those people get the props for it. But I don't see it as a problem. I think that's actually a great thing to happen.
Nice.
And then our goal too, Jamie, right, is that we want to introduce new toys over time, right? And then from those toys, players can create their own gameplay. So we're not necessarily creating the games ourselves, right? Always, like, we're really kind of, our goal is to introduce physics-based toys, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
cool. Awesome. Now, two more questions from gameplay category. .jdn asks thoughts on theme building competitions as well as Mythical made block party events with prizes, e.g. finish this Christmas theme course to receive a Santa hat for your character.
Yes. I mean, we've actually done a lot of those internally over time. One of the things we used to do, well, we still do, is we would set themes, right? One of the ones we did a while back was a Halloween theme. And everyone had like a day to build a level, and it had to be we got a spooky race stuff, and I think some of them might even be in the level now. So I think themes are really good fun, and they're the ways that you get people's creativity flowing, right? Once you give them a bunch of tools, and then you go, okay, here's the theme for the day. Josh, one of our build designers, he's our lead build designer, he set us a challenge the other day where we all had to go and build a vehicle out of whatever we could find. And it was amazing to see how many different things people built and the types of approaches they made. So yes, and yes. Yeah,
it's super cool. I know we've been talking about doing like a winter themed building competition, something like that. So super cool stuff. Now Gil asks, can you expand and clarify the idea? We may not be able to talk about this one, guys. We'll say this, or be able to reveal too much information. Can you expand and clarify the idea that was disclosed last 2019 about blending / burning Blankos to create a unique one? What type of uniqueness can we expect?
So you're correct, Justin. We can't talk too much about that yet, other than it's going to be really cool. You guys stay patient, and we'll talk about it when we can.
Yeah, but blending is a thing. It is coming.
It is a thing. It is coming.
Okay, and that's what we can confirm right now.
That's
cool. Let's move on to some economy stuff. XLife X asks, how does the player-driven economy work, and how will the in-game economy and real-world economy be connected?
Rudy.
Yeah, so I mean, what we wanted to do was we wanted to bring sort of the blockchain concepts into a real mass market game, which is what we're working on here, and we wanted to lean into ownership and NFTs and provide players with ways to generate value and tap into value. And so I'll start at the beginning, where this is going to be a game just like any other game you would play. If you played a free-to-play game, the economy is going to feel a lot like everything else you've played, and that's the goal we've set out. We're not building some of this sort of hardcore crypto or blockchain type game that sort of really focuses on short-term value. We're building a game with with the goal of longevity, that we want this to be an evergreen title. And so how do we, when we sort of approach this economy, we're thinking about it from that perspective. How do we build a long-term product game that's engaging, but also how do we implement an economy that goes alongside it that is also engaging and has long-term value? And so we start with, let's build it like we would in a traditional game. But now we've got this added aspect of, when you acquire an item, it's going to be limited. there's limited quantity. There's not an infinite supply of founders packs or other items that you can get in game. And so that creates an interesting dynamic that, you don't typically see in games where, if you own one of, 5,000 or 50,000, whatever the limit is, you've got something really special. And once those are sold out, they're gone forever. The only way to then get a hold of one is to buy one off another player. And so these are some of the new types of concepts that we want to bring into the game on top of sort of what the traditional free-to-play model that you may have been used to. What we believe, I think, at the core here is that we can make economies fun. We can make them engaging. We can get players involved and create an inclusive economy. And so, we're excited to have these concepts in the game. We want you to go and collect and build out your inventory. All of these things that you collect will be NFTs. And with that, then later on down the road, we can facilitate cool concepts as we start to unroll the secondary market and allow people to buy, sell, and trade. There's some cool concepts that we can lean into as we go.
Cool, awesome, incredibly said. And you mentioned something about engaging the building this as a game. Now, a lot of people have been asking about how do we earn currency, or do you buy currency? We talked a little bit about Moolah, but could you just sort of expand on that a little bit about how we get Moolah and how we get Blanko bucks?
Yeah, we have so two currencies. I'll start and then someone can jump in, Jamie or John. But we got two currencies. We got the grind currency and we got the premium currency. Blanko bucks you purchase. You've already been if you bought a founders pack, you will already have Blanko bucks ready to go for you when you get into the beta. And that will be the primary method to then go into this in-game store and purchase more cool stuff. We do have a grind currency. I mean, again, this is very similar to traditional free-to-play games. We've got a grind currency called Moolah that you can earn by completing activities in the game, and that will allow you to also then go and acquire new items.
Cool. And we got a question from Milky Boy. If I buy a Blanko founder pack, will I be able to sell or trade my boss item? Blanko?
Yes, absolutely.
And so you'll be able to sell that, and then the accessories will be tokenized as well at some point. Yeah. So you can do that. Accessories won't be in boxes. That's one thing I've seen that question come up a few times. The accessories will just show up in your inventory on the shelf, and you can attach those to anything. The Blankos themselves are in the boxes right now. And if you open the Blanko, I saw another question flow up, and a bunch of people pushing it. If you open your Blanko, you can still sell it. You can just also sell it while it's still in the box. It's really your call as a player.
Cool. And when can players expect to be able to do that?
Not tomorrow.
Yeah, not tomorrow. We don't have a date on this one. Again, we've got a lot of stuff to roll out. Really, the most important thing is that we get the game right, and that's what we're focused on right now. But all of that tech is coming. So this is one of those situations where we ask for patience. We roll everything out.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And one question that I saw come up was, do stats and skill trees reset when traded to another player?
Honestly, we'll punt that question right now. There's pieces back and forth that's being discussed. Yep.
All right. Cool. And Blankos Junction asks, will there be a way to browse and purchase Blankos and accessories through a web browser or an app, or will it be limited to in-game?
Yeah, not from day one, but there will be what we want to allow that.
Yeah, in-game starting tomorrow. We're aiming to add that soon.
Awesome. Mush asks, how will Blankos be integrated into the blockchain marketplace, in-game or available through? He asked in-game or available through a website. You guys just mentioned that as well. But is there anything else you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to start with the game and web access. I mean, we want to make sure that again we build this out right, and we're sort of growing the economy correctly, and we're able to drive the right kind of value. So we're going to start there, but we have some we've had a lot of discussions about where we go after that, and so we've got some pretty cool stuff coming as well.
Cool. Who Dace Dominic BGM asks, will you be able to transfer the money you've made after selling something on the market to your credit card or PayPal, etc.?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, this is one of the fundamental things that we're bringing to the gaming industry is that you have these items that you get in game, and in a traditional game, that's usually the end of it. You bought the item, and for personal satisfaction, and that's really it. But in our case, we want to create this economy where you own a collectible. You own one of something, and it's got value to the community. It's got value to other players, and we want you to be able to sell that and earn money off it. So the money you make off of selling your items you'll be able to cash it out. This is where we John mentioned this. We see a world of entrepreneurial gamers starting to really dig into that and generate new methods of monetization.
Yep.
Cool. Hen with a tie asks, will there be a tax rate when trading selling Blankos?
Depends on where you're at. Right? Yeah. We're working through those details as well, but it depends on where you're at.
Okay. And now 26 asks, hi, Mythical Games team. Thank you for taking time to answer our questions. For build items, materials, and weapons in the Founders Packs, are these also NFTs that can be sold in the marketplace in the future? I'm asking on behalf of founders that purchase multiple packs and will have duplicate items that we won't be able to utilize. We touched on this a little bit, but if you guys could just expand on that.
Yeah, I mean, the vision here is that everything is eventually tokenized and sellable, but this is our beta. This is where we start to roll things out step by step. And step one for this is tokenizing Blankos. So Blankos will be tokenized from day one beta, and then we will be tokenizing the rest in stages after that.
But yes, if you have duplicates, there could be uses for duplicates down the road, right? But you could also sell them. Yeah. So there's definitely and like I said before, we're seeing a lot of that to where some people are leaving them in the box, and some people might open a second one and play with the second one. I mean, it's really up to the player, whatever they want to do.
Great, awesome. Now we are coming up on 4 p.m. Pacific time. I wanted to just check, have a time check. How are you guys doing on time? Do you have time for a few more questions?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Cool. Another one from a good one from Bloodsucker. Bloodsucker 09 asks, what's the purpose of keeping your Blankos in the box in game?
I mean, what's the purpose of keeping your sneakers in a box? Or your toys, right? It's kind of the same thing. It's not touched. It's never been used. You could sell it down the line, and it comes with those same skill trees that it comes with right now. Who's to say those same skill trees are going to exist in 2 or 3 years' time? There's just something cool about having box fresh stuff, right? Like, I'm a sneakerhead. I'd say half my sneakers are in boxes and half of them I wear. And they're not necessarily all the same sneaker either. We just thought it was a really cool way to kind of speak to digital ownership, right? This is how it works in the real world, and what we're doing with the tech that we're using is really kind of bringing that real world exclusivity into the digital world.
Yep.
Great points. It'll be interesting to see how the community values a box Blanko versus a unbox Blanko.
We have to see if they can pronounce it first.
Yeah, exactly. Get tongue-tied on my own boxes. All right, 26. It's getting late, guys. 26 asks, how will you prioritize buyers on new Blankos releases in store? Will it be free for all, or released at a specific time, or possibly a priority lottery system?
It is a free for all right now. So similar to the founder packs, you get them in order, and same thing with the beta Blankos in the game. So get in there once you hear the game's out. Get in there and go get them.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing some cool stuff through beta as well. There's going to be very short timed events to get certain cool Blankos that are going to pop up, kind of pop up store style. So you're going to have to keep an eye out for those. You're going to have to listen into what's going on.
Cool. I mean, that is going to be key to everything. I'm really excited for that. All right, now let's finish up with some blockchain questions. I've seen a couple of blockchain questions in chat, but I think some of these answer those. So let's tackle these. Squid asks, what are your thoughts on using blockchain to support versioning and customization of in-game items, much like GitChain? But we have a creative toolkit that supports collaboration.
Our philosophy on customization and build mode is to make it as intuitive and easy as possible. We want everybody to feel like they can get in and build a level and customize their Blankos. And so, as Jamie already talked to customization is a big part of our vision in the future. And I think that philosophy of keeping it simple is always going to be there. I don't think we're going to, I don't think anything sort of complex or anything that requires code or anything like that's going to really fit with what we're trying to do with Blankos.
All right. Now, Xavier Extreme asks 2 questions. How to set up a wallet, what wallet are recommended to store and transfer the Blankos. I'm new to EOS, so wallet guide is helpful. He also asks, is it possible to store Blankos in a hardware wallet? So
we're on a private chain to begin with to help manage scalability. Again, beta is sort of a version of early access where we get to sort of make sure everything is running smoothly. And so we're on a private chain. That means you'll be all your NFTs will be stored in custodial wallets on our chain. Everything will be managed behind the scenes. This is also super critical for mainstream gamers who don't really want to worry about private keys or anything like that. And no plans for hardware wallets or anything like that.
Cool. And there's a couple of people asked this. Red Ruggles 5 Furin asks, will there be a Blanko governance token?
No plans for that. We watch all these trends in blockchain very closely, and we're always looking at how would we do this in a mainstream game? So it's really interesting stuff. We're watching it, but no plans yet.
Yeah.
Cool. Freddie asks, will we be able to track each NFT on the blockchain after beta is released?
We've got a block explorer in development. We know it's a thing for people who collect NFTs. Again, we've got just a lot of tech and game to roll out. So it's on our roadmap, but no clear plans yet.
All right. And Red Ruggles 5 asks, will that be a hard wallet like Ledger or other hard wallet that will work with these NFTs? I think it's similar to the question before.
Yeah, similar to the question. No, we're on a private chain, so there's no need for those things yet.
Cool. And now a question from Sir Bep, Sir Axie Chad. He asks, regarding the South by Southwest cards, can you clarify the diamond / holograph cards and what that means for the skin in game? Do skins have some special appearance to the physical cards? Also, a lot of people in crypto space have been turned off by this being on EOS. However, my understanding is it's on EOS.io. Can you discuss why you chose this to start, and do you have plans to have cross-chain compatibility? Are there other chains that you're looking at for when trading goes live, and maybe some small discussion about when that might be?
Okay, those are two very.
There's a lot there. Yeah,
there's about 17 questions.
The first one, maybe Jamie, you can talk to the symbol on the cards.
Yeah, so the symbol on the card just references the super low numbers. We wanted to make the cards really fun when we did South by Southwest. So all that they do is they represent the lowest ones. So if you look at the numbers for those cards, they're super, super rare. So if you've got any of those, well done you. And if you've got the golden ticket, super well done you.
He might be here.
He might be. He showed up a little while ago.
Yeah, I did see him. Yeah.
On the rest of the questions, so EOS.io, again, for us, we're building mass market game. This is a game that once we launch, we're expecting millions of players to hit the game, and so for us, scalability was extremely important, and that's why EOS.io made sense for us. We're watching all the trends. This is a fast evolving space, the blockchain space is, and so we're watching and keep an eye on other blockchains, seeing where things go. For us, I think most important on top of scalability and creating a game for mass market is ensuring that there's liquidity and value for players, right? Players who want to invest in the economy and want to buy and sell and cash out and all that stuff. We want to make sure that there's liquidity for them. And so for us, if that means we need to embrace other chains in order to provide that liquidity. We're building things, blockchain agnostic. So at the core will be EOS.io, but we envision a world where we can easily move NFTs around across borders, across regions, globally, across chains, to make it really easy for players to be able to buy and sell.
Awesome, beautiful. It's really interesting, and I hope people get excited about the blockchain side of this as well, which is really great. One quick question around South by Southwest cards: when will people be able to redeem those?
That's a good question. It should be tomorrow. But I do want to say there's it's a challenging system to make sure we get that all perfect. So we're if it's not tomorrow, it'll be within a couple days, but we're aiming for tomorrow.
So definitely this week.
It should be this week. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we are just about out of time here, but I wanted to just ask a couple of questions that I really love. This one's from Felblob: hot dog backpack or tarot backpack?
Hot dog.
Man, that's a tough one. Hot dog's pretty badass, but pterodactyls.
But here's the thing:
it glides.
It's whichever one you like best.
they do operate different. Grab them both and try them out. Try them out in the game. You'll feel they transport you differently through the levels.
Beautiful. Red Ruggles 5 and follows it up with, and most importantly, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Oh,
Star Wars for me.
No brainer.
Yeah, original Star Wars for sure. Yep.
Yeah. It's what I grew up on. It's what my kids are going to grow up on.
Yeah.
Hey, Rudy. But you need to keep them to canon, Rudy. No two Darth Vaders turning up at Halloween, man.
That's not my choice, unfortunately. My kids tell me what they want to dress up as.
Nice. Well, that brings us to the end of all the questions. We're running out of time. You guys had amazing questions, and we didn't get have enough time to answer all of them. And we just want to congratulate the winners of our giveaway in chat. The super congratulations to you guys. I believe moderators will be giving out instructions on how to claim your prize. One last question before we go. Gil, and this one's from Gil. How are there ways to help make the project succeed?
Oh, that's a cool question. I think honestly, this community is a great start, right? I think just be a little patient with us. I think we're gonna roll out a bunch of stuff. Give us a lot of feedback, because we're building a sandbox, right? We're building a game that we can all play together. So I think that's to me is the most important thing, is just kind of be active with us, and we'll try and build a cool world together.
And if everyone brings 2 friends, it'll be amazing.
That would be amazing, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please tell your friends if you bring them as fast as you can. That'd be great.
Yeah, I love building communities for games, and I can't wait to build this community with you guys. It's going to be awesome as the game grows, as we start adding new features, as we start building upon this thing that we have such a clear and wonderful vision for. And we want you guys to be along with us on the ride. It's going to be awesome.
And Justin, one of the things I think we saw in the alpha, which was such a cool experience for this type of game that we haven't seen in maybe other games we've made in the past, but watching people build levels, and then a lot of times we do these kind of weekly play tests, and we can do this in Discord where you come in and ask for feedback, and hey, how can I make this better? Can you come play my level with me and see how it goes? And then people would literally make changes, and we tried again the next day, and these levels got amazing. I mean, they were like amazing 3-lane shooters and some very classic game designs that came out of it. So I think, to me, is let's use Discord. Let's make this a cool place to give feedback and to build these awesome levels together. And I think that's, if we can kind of replicate that, what we saw in the alpha together, moving forward as a community, we got a hell of a game ahead of us.
Awesome. John, Rudy, Jamie, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to talk about Blankos and on the eve of private beta. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone that tuned in.
Thank you.
We really, really appreciate you guys hanging out with us today and your time and support. Real quick, the winners are Delts TZ, John Hodler, Dead Polaroid, Super Alarming, Fankies, iJailbreaker, Aeon Mig29, Tiro Red, Jowie No Sleep, Take on Head. We'll be seeing you guys in the beta tomorrow, which is really exciting. And we can't wait. Again, thank you guys so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Take it
Thank
easy.
you. See ya.